What's up, fellas? Welcome to the beginning of the next Battle of the Beats. I am Jarvis Carter. I'm your sponsor. Man, look, just because I got the hat on don't mean I really think that they're gonna win all the time. So, behind me, what you see is an X-Men: Children of the Atom arcade that I just picked up just a couple days ago. Let me kind of level with you cats today, man. There's gonna be a lot of changes this tournament, man, because I feel it's necessary. I'm I'm real stoked to see this shitness happen again, and I have to say thank you to all of the competitors that competed last tournament. We had 27 last tournament. This year, I'd like to see at least 50 of you cats get in here. I know there's a lot of you guys that didn't get in last time because you really didn't think the money was real, and now I'm sure that there are a lot of people who could tell you that the money is real this time. So, Ken Beats will tell you that the money's real. Jay Hits will tell you that the money's real. Jay Hits, I expect to see your sign up sometime in the next couple of days, by the way. Just want to say that. Negro Saki will tell you that there is money out there, man. I mean, that guy was posed to probably win over a half a grand in this tournament had he won it. Leech will tell you. Shades will tell you. Musical Prof will tell you. You know, I mean, those are all the same person, by the way. Aces Galvin will even tell you, man, the money is seriously real, yo. I'm not out here on some bullshit, really. I take pride in this community. I take pride in the fact that I'm a part of it now, and I entered to the Battle of the Beats last time. So just to kind of tell a little bit about myself, man. My name is Jarvis Edmund Carter. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm a big part of the video game community, selling it especially here in Billings, Montana, as well as I'm a huge part of the community when it comes to this kind of thing on eBay and on Amazon. I've been doing Amazon for about 2 years. I've been doing eBay for about 6, and that was prior to me being released from prison. To make a long story short with you cats, man, I'll tell the real story of me, man. My mom died when I was 1.5. I was raised by my great aunt, my great uncle. They kind of took a great liking into me. I love music from the jump. I received an NES when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I couldn't let go of that thing, man. It was the best thing since sliced bread, to make a long story short. Oh, hey, I just want to say to show you this. Guess who that is calling? Oh, that's Aces Galvin. Hold on a second. I'll be right back with y'all. Hey, what's up, Aces? Hey, man, I'm actually recording a video while we're talking. I was recording YouTube to kind of tell the cats about myself. So, let me call you back in like 5 minutes, alright? Alright, one. Yeah, real spit. So, anyway, back to my story. He didn't even rudely interrupt me. That was actually a good thing that actually happened. And that phone that I'm using is an LG Intuition. It's one of the best phones I've ever used in my life. Going back to the story, my great aunt and great uncle took a great interest into me as a child. I have 2 sisters, a younger sister whose name is Jada. I have an older sister whose name is Jocelyn, and they are some of the most beautiful women in the world, in my opinion. Of course, you're gonna say your sister looked good, but not like that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, going on, and the thing is, my great aunt, my great uncle took in my older sister and I, and they took care of us for quite some time. And wow, they took care of us for quite some time. So, long story short, I mean, let me kind of move along in the story. I think somewhere in the vicinity of like 9 or 10, I kind of started making my own music, kind of with my mouth. I had little stick friends. I'll kind of try to get this in there, and I used to talk like this with them, and we used to like do songs and dance and stuff. Me and my sister did, and she became a very good artist, and it really inspired me to continue in the arts. And I also didn't really know what I really wanted to do as in arts, but I knew I could write. I write really well, man. I'm super duper articulate when it comes to this thing. As well as, let me kind of make this clear too, as in Devon Thompson, as in Ramar Leach, as in Greg Lemon, as in Dave, a lot of us out here, as in Aces Galvin, as in Rozzy K, a lot of us out here are extremely intelligent, and we don't have to speak in ebonics. We don't have to talk like, all this craziness or whatever. And what we do is we take that knowledge and those smarts and we make those things into great things. So what I did was I took the knowledge and the smarts that I had, and I really kind of went the wrong direction. My stepmother, when I became a foster child in, I think, maybe 91 or 92, something like that. She worked for a bank called Bank of the West. Actually, it was called Commercial Federal back then, and before that it was called Northwest Bank. But the bottom line was I learned how to use checks and do all that kind of stuff, and learned how banks process those things and so on and so forth, because she was very good at her job, and she was a teller for 12 years, became a personal banker, and so on and so forth. And I knew everything that had to be done with the banking system when I was probably like 13 or 14. I came back to Nebraska after being a state ward between the ages of 11 and probably 13 in the state of Oklahoma. I've been through several places in Oklahoma, so if you're from the OK, man, I'm pretty much down with you there. I came back to Nebraska, stayed with my great uncle again after my great aunt had passed away. I was pretty much a hellion, a terrible child. I've been through a whole bunch of stuff, physical, mental type abuse, and he couldn't handle it, man. The man was like 70 years old. He couldn't really take a lot of what was going on. So he tried to mold me or whatever he could to be the best man that I possibly could be, but he couldn't. So based on that, the state of Nebraska took over. I don't knock them for doing what they did. I knocked them for how it happened afterwards. They didn't really get my uncle back involved, try to reunite me with him. They just kind of let me just float in the system. Bad things happen when you allow a child to float. I got into the 40th Ave Crips when I was done with that, and my grandmother, my real grandmother, actually said, "Hey, look, this young man is getting out of control. We need to definitely try to rein this dude in." I've been through mental hospitals and all kinds of crazy old shiznits, and she just didn't want to see me go down the road to prison, even though I ended up going anyway. But she had a calling for me after I had been through the state system probably for another 7 years. I was 19 at the time, and she called upon me and told me to come out here to Montana, and hastily I did come out here. I wasn't really in the mood to listen to my grandmother's BS at the time, but she showed me things that I wouldn't be able to tell you guys if my life depended on it, man. This one day, my grandmother and me sat outside and watched grasshoppers jump from one piece of wheat or one of these weeds to another piece. And my grandmother said, "You making some progress, huh?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And that's what we used to do, man. We used to enjoy life. I didn't have to work. Her husband was a rancher, and then he fell ill and he caught cancer. And when he passed away, my grandmother shortly, her demise was so quick. I don't remember how she just got so bad so quick. I think love can kill you, man. I think you can die from a broken heart, and I think that it's very obvious in people who have been together for quite some time. And they were together for, I think, 10 years, because my grandmother had divorced from a black man. She married a white guy, something she said she'd never do, by the way. But when I got out here, I decided to get myself into some stuff that I shouldn't have. I went to fraud and checks, and when I did that, I got into a program that was called, I think, VersaCheck or something like that, man. And I was using that program to create real checks from companies that I had gotten paid for them, or something to that degree, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like I had Walmart's paycheck account. I had APAC Customer Services, if you work for them. I'm trying to think of some other people. Red Lobster. Well, it was called General Mills. General Mills owned that company for quite some time, and then they bought themselves out. There's a ton of companies I had a paycheck from, and I would use the numbers that are on the bottom of the check, right? Those are your routing, your account number, and I would just take those things and I would electronically kind of like make the signature look the same, and it was good. I mean, for a long period of time, I thought, oh man, I'm big ballin'. I didn't have to sell dope to do this shiznits, and it was good, and I was pretty happy, proud of myself, you know what I'm saying? But really, the truth was I was stealing from people, man, and it just wasn't what was up. Long story short, in 2001, when I turned 21, the feds caught up with me. They basically told me what was up. You know, they were like, hey, we're probably going to indict you for federal fraud. At the time, I was living in a condo here in Billings, and I had probably frauded somewhere in the vicinity of $10 or $15 million worth of money from 82 different companies across the seaboard. So the feds indicted me. I went to federal prison in 2001, and I went to Lompoc, and then I got out from there. Well, I went to SeaTac for classification, and then I went to Lompoc on a mistake classification. Jesus Christ, those guys. If you're if you got a family member over in Lompoc, man, whew, man, I just gotta say, man, they gotta be tough and strong to be over there, man, because that was gladiator school. That was no joke. You can die in that prison any day, no joke. I think after that, I went from there to Manitoba, Minnesota, and did time up there, and I got my case overturned based on some things that were said by a confidential informant that was on probation, and those things aren't allowed. So I got that overturned. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals let me go, and then Montana and Nebraska decided that they were going to pick up my charges because I was habeas corpus from I think 13 different states, and Montana was where I resided, and Nebraska was where I was a resident as well. So they felt that those two things were probably the reasons why I should have got prosecuted. I pled to my Nebraska charges because I was obviously guilty. They had an F ton of evidence, and I just really did not want to get bamboozled. I probably could have took that to trial and still would have been okay. I received a 1 to 3 year sentence, and that did a year and I received a 3 to 6. I'm sorry. I did 1.5 to the board, waived the board, and I ended up doing 3 years and 4 weeks. 3 years 3 weeks on that sentence, and then I was sent back to back to Montana to finish up a 3-year sentence with them. Actually, I think that happened in reverse. I did time in Montana first at MSP, Shelby, and some other places like that. And I'm not gonna lie, the Montana system was kind of like gladiator school to some degree. MSP was kind of calm. I won't lie. I was on the high side, and it wasn't that bad. Once I went from there to Shelby, that's when it got real, and it was serious out there. And I went from Shelby. I got out, and I had a detainer warrant. So the probation officer that was up here, his name was Thomas Anderson, asked me if I would turn myself in, or if I could take myself back to Nebraska so that I could get it done, so they didn't have to extradite me. So I was like, all right, cool. So I got on the bus, turned myself in Lincoln, and finished up the sentence that I had with Nebraska. I received a 3 to 6 on that. Ended up doing 3 years, 3 weeks on that, and that brings us to this point right here. 8 years total. Yeah, actually 8 years, 1 month total, and it brought me to this point where I am today. To some degree, I look back on the Nebraska sentence, and it's probably what changed my life, man. That was a very calm prison sentence. It's where I learned how to play the keyboard. It's why the Casio WK3800 will probably be the only board that I'll ever use. It was the only solace I had while I was inside of the Nebraska system. They don't allow the Nebraska inmates to use that board anymore. If you have it, it's grandfathered in. But that board is no longer allowed on the well, it's allowed on the yard, but you can't buy another one. I mean, in Nebraska, they gave you a lot of outlets, man. They had a music program. They had a choir. I mean, I was super duper astonished, and I mean astonished, about how they kept their inmates busy. And I mean, it wasn't like, you know, you just sat down and watched cable TV all day, man. I ended up getting in with a group of guys that really just kind of made me feel like I was a part of the family, you know, and we got to doing music. I know that many of you guys don't know that I sing, but I do, and I'm pretty good at it, by the way. I'm not the greatest, but there are some things I'm going to lace over some traps or something like that. I really want Rodney McKnight to get a hold of me, man. He has he has a Final Zone beat, and then he also has a Sonic 3 Final Zone beat that I've written to both of those tracks. I actually got both those tracks while I was inside and wrote to him, and I just I've hit this dude up on Facebook several times trying to get him to give me a lease or an exclusive or whatever. Rodney McKnight 9217, hit me up, man. Come on, just saying. Anyway, you know, I think that that's another thing. I write my own lyrics. I do a lot of stuff like that, but music's a passion for me because it is what it is. I think it's a window to the soul. I also think it's a window to what's going on in our own society and stuff like that. I'm not really like an aficionado or whatever it is. Beats mean something to me. So, you know, when you can't hear no words to something, I think it makes a great difference, and it's why the Battle of the Beats is important to me. It's why this community is good to me. It's why these people that are in the community mean something to me, because, like I said, I mean, when you can't hear words to something, when you have to just feel what the music is doing for you, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new broad aspect of what music really means. So, you know, I guess from my angle of the street, I feel as if it's just one of the greatest things in the world. So, you know, it's probably one of the best feelings in the world when you can have somebody put goosebumps on your skin just because you listen to something. You know, your ears are probably, in my opinion, besides your palate, besides your taste and your sight, I think that seriously, your ears are probably one of the most great windows to you understanding or feeling something, you know, even more so than sight, and probably even more so than taste. So I don't know if I would be able to, you know, somebody asked me recently, would I rather give up my sight or my hearing, and I told them I'd give up my sight, and I'd rather see the world in dark than to not hear the world in colors. So that's how I feel. But with that being said, let me kind of get back to the BOTB, because I know I'm almost 17 minutes in, and I know you guys are probably like, what the hell? This dude's been talking forever, man. Just talk about the damn tournament. I feel you, okay? I feel you. Here we go. There's going to be some changes. Check this out. I am going to pick a tournament MVP, and I'm going to pick a tournament MVP for this tournament as well. That's going on right now, BOTB 1, XTE 1. I also kind of want to take this time to like say, look, man, there's probably going to be a strike program in this tournament. I really have to say this, man. I don't pay you guys for no good reason, man. This is meaningful to me. I pay for this because I think that it's good for the community, it's good for the people, and I think it's also good for you know, my business. You know, when you guys put these videos up, I'm gonna express myself on this so that you know where I'm at. My sales increased by over 100% this year during the Battle of the Beats, and I can only imagine if this was going on during Christmas, which it will this time. There's going to be a break, I assume, between, you know, Christmas and the holidays and so on and so forth, because I don't want to end up having you take time between your family and so on and so forth. I don't want that at all, because I know what my family means to me. I know what that's like to not be by your family during Christmas time because you having to do something you shouldn't do. But I really want to see a lot of good beats this time. I'd like to see a lot of good battles. I mean, I want to say this too, man. If you're not prepared, drop. You know, one thing I respect about Von Swizzle, I'm gonna actually hit him up when I get a chance, is that before he got into the first round, he had some personal issues come up, and we wish him the best. I'm hoping that we'll see him again this year. And Z Styles as well, man. Real good shizness from you in that round. I also want to take the time to, like, you know, say, like, DJ SNES, man, I hope I see you back again this year, but not like that. That's never okay. And I don't want to see those type of beats, man. If you're not gonna put forth the effort to try to decimate somebody in this tournament, please don't join. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I want you to do your best. Great story of this. XX Jenkins XX, my guy, that was good. That beat that you put down for that 70s stuff, man. This kid is probably what, 15 or 16, and he went up against Jay Hits and got decimated. Of course, he got decimated by Jay Hits, but I mean, who doesn't get decimated by just Jay Hits? Besides Negro Soccer, just want to say that. But you know, this kid put together some great stuff and put his heart and soul into it. Yeah, he lost in the first round, but he put his heart into that, and that's what I want to see. And I mean, I don't think we can really measure heart by listening to something, but I think that the effort is what we want to reward, you know? I mean that. I mean, I really feel necessary to say that it's important that you guys put forth your best effort. I don't want to hear shiesty efforts or you throwing something together on the last day of the tournament or nothing like that, man. Please put your best foot forward. I am putting out a grand, man. Nigga, that could buy you a car. I mean, literally. You know how many, that could pay off some bills. That get you a brand new laptop. That get you some native instruments. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, $1,000 cash to the winner, man. And I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with the rest of this shizness and what we want to do and all this other craziness. So, I mean, really, please do not come in here small stepping this time. I mean, I'd appreciate it. I would appreciate it, because the better your beats are, the more money I make, the more money I can offer to the community. That's the point I'm making to you. I mean, when y'all are good, I'm good, and that's what I want to see. You know, when you come out here and make some fire stuff, I'm gonna make another good example on this whole situation. Ken did a classical in the next in the second round of us. His video is still getting me hits. Just want to make that clear. His video is still making me hits over on eBay. Really, people are clicking on that thing when they watch his video and coming over to see my stuff. So I'm just gonna make that real clear. I really feel good about this tournament. And when you make good music, it makes me good profits, and that means I can give back to you even more. That means next time around, we might be talking about a car. We might be talking about $2,000. Shoot, if this thing gets real big, I'll be offering 25. I mean, and that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all do well in this tournament. Y'all bring your best foot forward to the tournament. You know, we ain't gonna ever have no problems. You know, but I really believe this, man. I mean, you know, if you come kind of like lazy, lackadaisic, all that, man, me and Judge Aces are gonna really crack down hard on that this tournament, man. This isn't a free tournament, you know. Please don't throw your $5 away, man, and please don't waste our time. You know, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you to come hard. I'm begging you to take my money from me. That's what I really want you to do. Because the harder you come, the more often I'm going to pay you. That's what it really comes down to. Because when you go hard, I make money, so I'm going to pay you. I think that sounds like a fair deal to me.